Chuk and I'm in ninth grade. In Buddhism, Buddhists practice non-violence and care for sentient beings and slowly accustom to respect the non-living beings such as the flora and fauna of the earth. What advice would His Holiness give as to what we as people of the next generation could do to achieve this universal responsibility of the environment as it is our home?
Actually, in Buddhism, of course, the sort of about the altruistic and holistic views, these things very much sort of mentioned and training. But ecology, not much there. For example, when I first came India, and also in Europe, you see some people say, oh, you cannot drink this water, this is polluted. I surprised. In Tibet, when we take long journey, any water you can drink, enjoy. So the same water, looks same water, but some undrinkable, polluted. So then, gradually, I learned through experts about ecology. Then I developed full conviction. World, this planet is our only home. So we have to take serious concern about protection of our home. Recently, Americans today that spacecraft is reach Mars. I think within next, say, 1 decade or 2 decades, some human being is a wonderful sort of, achievement. However, if we try to settle in moon, I think even 1 week, I think very difficult. So all these sort of the equipment, oxygens, and how can spend, you see. So impossible. So therefore, you see, this blue planet is only our home. If we destroy this home, then where we should go? Or jump into sea, mass suicide. Maybe that is the solution. Otherwise, you see, no hope, no possibility. So we have to take every care, as I mentioned earlier. Then, you see, taking care about ecology, you see, the problem, violence, immediately strike on our mind. But damage, I mean, the consequences of ecology sort of damage, not like that, not that kind of sort of, because of immediate sort of striking, invisible. Gradually, you feel some tiredness or some difficulties to your eyes, like that, and coughing, like that. So then sometimes maybe too late. Therefore, it is quite sensitive from that respect. So, and then taking care ecology, each individual, you see, should have that kind of sort of sense. The ecology from United Nations, or sometimes even those big nations, you see, their national interest top most important. Ecology is second, isn't it? So therefore, Copenhagen summit, you see, failed to bring some kind of appropriate guidance. Because of, you see, the concerned nations, they think their national interest is more important than global interest. That's quite sort of narrow-minded, short-sighted. If global level something happens, then each nation is have to suffer, isn't it? Cannot escape like that. So therefore, these things, each individual must start like that. So sometimes you see two big problems. Then think oneself, one individual. Oh, I cannot do much. Impossible. So you get some kind of feeling of happiness. But then think, these sort of thing, we need worldwide movement. Such movement, any movement, start from individual. Clear? After all, society means combination of individual. So initiative must start from individual. Then one individual, 10 individual, 100,000, 10,000, that's the way to carry some effective movement. Clear? Next question.
So my name is Dichen and I'm in grade 7. On the level
First is this group.
of a human being, there is the promotion of human values such as compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, contentment, and self-discipline. All human beings are the same. We all want happiness and do not want suffering. Despite the differences, all major world religions have the same potential to create good human beings. It is therefore important for all religious traditions to respect one another and recognize the value of each other's respective traditions. My question is, at Woodstock we come from many different religious traditions. What can different religious groups do to promote religious harmony?
I think generally, I think the last 40, 50 years, I think closer sort of feeling among different religious traditions, I think stronger, getting stronger, more awareness. And also, a lot of organization, a lot of individuals, and including some religious leaders, really making effort. So things are positive direction, like that. Finished now? Finished, thank you. So, now this group, one question from this group. Oh, very good, this young one, no?
Do you have any goal for before you die?
I think every 7 billion human being, their goal is happy life and meaningful life. So one occasion, you say, or one Life magazine, you see, shows one picture of Queen of England, some big ceremony, and give lecture, reading some statement, but wind blow her sort of clothes like that. Then Prince Philip beside her, but he cannot do that. There's too much sort of formality, too much sort of what's the official sort of formality. They wind quite independence, don't care about formality. So blow Queen's clothes like that. And then another sort of story. One time, I think maybe 15, 20 years ago, in Mexico City, one sort of religious interfaith sort of meeting. There, one Japanese. Here, any Japanese? Any Japanese? Okay. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay. So, among the sort of participants, one Japanese Buddhist. Usually, you see those Japanese, many people, of course, many religious people, is a quite sort of formality. They love this formality. So and in each person, you see some short prayer. And then the Japanese will say, the monk, I think monk or Japanese sort of priest, you see, as their usual sort of way, you see rosary, and hold rosary, and some prayer carrying on, rosary you should do like that. So then while he sort of praying, chanting something, And the rosary do like that, the sting of the bead broke, and bead scattered. But that is the person still remain like that. If I am his case, I think stop the chanting, then pick up these things. That's more practical, isn't it? Oh. So you see, sometimes we religious people, you see, fond, you see, more dignified. I don't like that. I really don't like that. You see, we are same human being. Yeah. You have sort of different emotions. I also have different emotions. Then only thing is, I use my intelligence. Then some of these emotions are good for my health, or others, some emotions are very bad, very harmful. The understanding of that, then my intelligence, you see, try to minimize these harmful, destructive emotions. That's the way. So, so, and then till my age 24, I was in Lhasa, more sort of the ceremonial way and more formal way. Then I came to India, become refugee. No longer protocol, no longer formality. I become much closer to reality. Too much sort of, because of the formality, is actually barrier between reality and yourself. Like that. So that's one my sort of experience. So sometimes I really feel become refugee is really a very good lesson, very good help for me. So therefore, sometimes I sort of telling Tibetan, now more challenge is the Tibetan spirit become stronger. So therefore, we must be grateful to the Chinese communists, their sort of atrocity. That bring us more sort of realization of our own sort of spirit, our own sort of inner strength. Clear? Itself negative. I become refugee, stateless, sad. But anyway, that immense help is to become realistic, like that. This is one my experience. Now, next question, this side. Oh, many questions there. Then I think at least two questions, one from here. Yes.
Your Holiness, what do you think when you see Lhasa today? How do you feel? And on a completely different note, are you still working out?
Harsa. Basically, I usually say telling like this, or describe like this, Tibet issue. If you look locally, then hopeless. But if you look Tibet issue more holistic, then very, very hopeful. Mainly because, you see, China itself now changing. The Chinese people, quite a big portion of Chinese people, particularly the coastline area, their living standard improve. More wider contact with outside world. And also these technology, information. Immense help get better knowledge about outside world, and including Tibet. So therefore, see, I met number of Chinese. Of course, even I think the 80s we try, but before Tiananmen event happened, the many Chinese, they are quite sort of reluctant contact with us. After Tiananmen event, many Chinese, then they come to talk with us. Then particularly after 2008 crisis, a number of Chinese. Now, for example, last over 2 years, about 1,000 articles in Chinese language wrote by Chinese. Many of the writers within China. So all these, about 1,000 articles, all express full support about our middle way of approach, not seeking separation. And all these articles, very critical view about their own government policy regarding Tibet and some other minorities area, like that. So this is quite sort of positive. Next.
Have you made any progress in terms of the refugee status for Tibetans in India?
I think generally the refugee community now over almost 53 years. I think we Tibetan refugee community eventually become one of the most successful refugee community. Many volunteer agencies or workers who involve in 6 days, 7 days about Tibetan refugee community, when we met some of these people, they express, you see, you become one of the most successful, you see, refugee community. Quite good. And successful in the sense, you see, regarding preservation of Tibetan culture, Tibetan Buddhist tradition, and also modern education. I think we really achieve something. So that I feel satisfactory result. And mainly, of course, Government of India, immense help. And then various state government, and of course, wherever Tibetans live, you see the local Indians, generally very, very supportive, like that. Then, 2 questions. Now this, You from Sikkim?
Your Holiness,
You from where?
I'm from Ladakh,
Ladakh?
Lai.
Oh, yes.
There's been talk between the leaders of Iran and Israel. Would you have any advice to give them, especially the political and military leaders of the two countries?
I think that's too complicated. Very difficult to say. Even in this hall, I express some sort of Khazota views. Never reach there. So, useless. Next question.
Hello, how are you?
Kasa.
Two questions. During the speech, you mentioned that you are 77
Yes.
years old this year, but you're passionate and your energy through your speech made me feel like you are only 27, of course, without looking at your face. And so do you have any secret or any trick to keep yourself so young and so healthy and so happy and joyful? And another question is actually for my mom. Like a couple weeks ago, I called my mom in Taiwan. I'm originally from Taiwan. I told her that the Holiness Dalai Lama is coming visit to Woodstock school. Then my mom said, "Oh really?" Then try to ask him to give you some blessing. So I wonder whether I have the honor to get some blessing from you.
Firstly, you come from Taiwan. So there are many good friends in Taiwan. So thank you. Your first question. Actually, I think usually I to respond to such a question is, that's my top secret. So I don't like to share these secrets. I mean, seriously. Actually, you see, I think I already mentioned. You see, I never sort of relying using tranquilizer or sleeping pill. Now, each night, 9 hours sound sleep every day. Recently, as I briefly mentioned, recently I was in Ladakh, yes, here, Ladakh, the Shirjuka, I think Shirjuka, Shirjukul, the height, 4,000 meters, I think double than this one, isn't it? This is 2,000, so 4,000, quite high, but sleep, no disturbances. About, I think, 9:30, sorry, between 8 to 9 hours sleep, no problem. Then also in order to reach that place, the quite high sort of Mount Kasota pass, that 5,000 meters, but no sort of sign of some headaches or these things. So after that, I met some Chinese, my friend, some Chinese I met. So I told them, according to this, my recent sort of trip to Ladakh, you see, my physical seems still fit to go to Tibet, no problem. But if Chinese government allow me, I told them. So I think basically, you see, as I mentioned earlier, you see, I think my mental state quite peaceful, quite peaceful. Of course, a lot of problem, but always look from wider perspective and a fundamental sort of basis. I never feel sort of negative feeling or anger towards some of these Chinese officials, but they themselves, you see, too much sort of fear, too much distrust, lack of self-confidence. So there's sufficient reason to feel pity like that. So you see, never sort of feel some kind of negative feeling. That also immense help to maintain peace of mind. Clear. Then second question, if you have some rosary or scarf, then while I'm coming back, yes, although I have nothing sort of kasota, no power, so-called sort of say blessing. I want to share one story. One time in England, again it's a public talk. Kaza di hold the binkarsa. Royal Albert as a whole, a big one. So I often used to telling at the beginning, among the audience, some may feel, some just come out of curiosity. There's no problem. Some may feel Dalai Lama have some kind of special power, miracle power to bless. That's nonsense. Then some people may have, or say the Dalai Lama have some kind of healing power. Then I told, actually, I do not believe those people who claim they have some healing power. I do not believe. I'm very skeptical. And then I told, if there is real sort of so-called healing power there, then I would like to show, to see that person who have healing power, because you see, my skin here, some problem. So I would like to see, to show that problem, seek some healing power. Then, next day, I received some packed ointment for this illness. That's the real blessing. So your mother, actually, I think, think more about, this sort of, the training of mind. That is the real source of blessing. Clear? So that I always mention like that. Otherwise, some people, without sort of training of mind, just seeking some sort of power from outside. That's unrealistic. Clear? And particularly, according to Buddhism, you see, we have no concept of creator. Buddha made very clear ourselves as a creator. So Buddha made it very clear, you are your own master. So therefore, you see, your mother, future entirely depend on mother herself, not on Dalai Lama. Don't blame on me if something goes wrong. Now, last question from this side.
How did you decide to be peaceful?
Kasa. I think I already mentioned these things. And also, you see, one matter, see, if, see, in practice, or sort of analyze something, then we should be very serious. But otherwise, you see, when deal with people, we should not be too much serious. Just think, another human being. I also have faults. You also have faults. No, do? Faults like that. So then easy. If I sort of consider myself, oh, I'm Dalai Lama, I have something sort of special, and I must be 100% perfect. Nonsense. That kind of attitude, then you get more stress, more anxiety, isn't it? Like that. So, 아주 벽에 안 나는 왜 샤바스다 그 소리.
To be easygoing.
왜 샤바스.
To be like free.
That's very important. Then he has to ask, oh, you are sick, isn't it? Some problem. Yes, now your last question now.
Thank you. I was born in a Hindu Brahmin family, and I always, my father is a lay preacher, and people tell me I should do this mantra and I should read this thing and that thing. I always find it very confusing. And then I feel if I don't do all these things, maybe I'm a little bit less than all this Brahmin or any other religious people, and I'm not good or something like that. So I don't know what to do about all this. People keep telling me, do this, do that, and you will be all right. You will get better.
You see, for some illness, this is some mantra. In Buddhism, and also you see Hinduism, different Hinduism, also you see there. And I think most of the religious sort of faith, this is some kind of sort of belief, some kind of power, is it to cure some of these problems. But you see, in order to become these things effective, first we need single-pointed mind. That we call shamatha, samadhi, vipassana, samadhi. It's the single-point mind. You see, our sort of completely sort of ignore about sensorial sort of mind, then main mind. Then main mind also not follow past memory and future vision. So this moment, or short moment, just clarity of the mind, concentrate on it. And through that way, remain 1 hour, 2 hours, at least 4 hours. Then you get some experience, the power of sort of single-pointed mind. With that, recite some of these mantras or some prayers, then become more effective. So far I have not that experience. So it's a single-pointed sort of practice, a single-pointed mind. I do practice, but it remains maybe 15 seconds or 30 seconds. So therefore, for the moment, I think not relying on use these sort of mantra, rather meditation and some exercise. That's better. Again, as I mentioned earlier, in spiritual field also, we must be realistic. I want to tease, you both American. Huh? English? Huh? So I want to tease you. In 60, I think in 60s, one American who settled in, I think around Missouri, he also, you see, quite sort of the technician way. He made some sort of different things. And meantime, he also, you see, claimed he had the power to know others' mind. He seriously mentioned to me. Then I do not accept that easily. So I see from childhood, we trained to investigation. Because the Buddha said, "Oh, my follower, bhikshus, or scholars should not accept my teaching out of faith, out of devotion, but rather thorough investigation and experiment." So our mind trained that way. So that American, my friend, of course, good gentleman, but he claimed he knows others' mind. Then I asked him, that moment I set up on my mind certain sort of thought I set up. Then asked him, what thought my mind? He answered something, but totally wrong. So some Tibetan lamas and also Hindu lamas, some you see claim they have certain power. We have to investigate. Don't rely on their word. Clear? Thank you. Dame. So I really enjoy interaction with you, young, old. So I really appreciate. And because directors and sort of also the seniors or also the professors, you arrange this opportunity. I very much thank you.